Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
All good, all good. We're excited here at the PGC Digital number two.
Good. Where are you at the moment?
Right now I'm in Montreal, Canada.
Montreal. Oh, so it's fairly early in the morning for you guys as well.
Yes, it is actually. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
it
thank you
is.
for joining us. Like I said to Solon, I hope you've had some breakfast or you've got your coffee or anything like that. Enough to keep
Absolutely.
you
I would say,
going.
yeah, more coffee, I would say.
Yeah, but no, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, it's going to be a really interesting talk. I know it's an area that a lot of people have heard of, but maybe people don't actually know anything about it at all. And there's obviously a lot of myths and misinformation around the area. So hopefully you can help clear some of that up as well.
That
So
that is the main idea, absolutely, to
yeah,
clarify everything related or around this adult games
yeah.
industry.
Fantastic. So, you all, I'll leave you to it then. But I'll be here in the background if you need it. And just like I say to anyone, throw your questions into the chat. So I'll leave you to
Perfect.
it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So just allow me to share my screen here. Perfect,
Perfect.
perfect. Okay, okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much for being here. I am Jorge Rosales, or George, Business Development at Nutaku. And today I'm here to present Explosion of Adult Games. What is Nutaku and what do we do? So this presentation will cover topics such as our business models, some numbers about both the gaming industry and our platform, what types of games we're looking for, among other interesting points, okay? So now let's start talking about what we have here. So we have two main business operations running as two independent entities. The Nutaku Business team, one I belong, is the only team working across the two companies, and we'll go in a few of these details as we go. Nutaku.net is our distribution platform for adult games. Think of Google Play, Congregate, and Steam all rolled in one store dedicated to adult games. We serve free-to-play and paid games across both mobile and PC browser, Android APKs, and PC client games. Any team with a completed adult game can come and self-publish their games on Nutaku. On the other hand, Nutaku Publishing, which is our investment and full publisher service studio. We focus on finding and funding high-quality games from the highest quality teams. So now that you already know what we do or what we have here at Nutaku and Nutaku Publishing, let's talk about what is an adult game. So according to the ESRB, adult games can be defined as games with explicit nudity or sexy scenes. These games have been given the rating AO for adults only. So you may ask, is this a new thing? And the answer is not at all. Far from it. Actually, Leisure Larry. If you remember this game, Leisure Suit Larry, an absolute classic IP spanning over 30 years in the industry. What about this one, The Joy of Sex, in 1993, is one of the first games to ever receive the prestige AO rating. Take a look at this one, GTA San Andreas in 2004 did not hide their adult references. And last but not least, The Witcher 3 in 2015 integrated sexual scenes directly into their AAA story, a brave and applaudable step for a mainstream company. So, after 5 years, now we're here. So we are now the largest games company in the world dedicated to adult games. But how did we do it? Let's check this video.
Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here today. Jeff Tremblay or Jean-François. I am the Business Development Manager for Nutaku.
Estamos con Jorge Rosales de Nutaku. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, complacido de estar acá en Córdoba.
Talk a little bit about Nutaku. We're going to talk a little bit about what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and what's in it for you guys. You ready?
right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Antoon. Traditional app stores and the traditional gaming platforms are so overcrowded and oversaturated.
Wow, well, hey, Nutaku, thumbs up.
All right, so let's continue with the presentation. So as you can see, we achieved all of this by meeting talented developers with fun games. Nutaku.net has quickly become the world's largest dedicated 18 plus idle gaming platform. So now the question is, but why make games for Nutaku? Let's take a look at the industry today. Let's take a look at the largest stores, Google Play, Steam, and the App Store, while addressing teams who want to make real revenue share on their games. So let's start by talking about Steam. I hear Steam developers confused about the lack of visibility and low purchases on Steam, only to realize that they were the 648th game to release on the Steam that month. Over 30,000 games are available on Steam, and 20,000 of those were released since 2017. What about Google? Google Play is no better. Competition now stands at 400,000 games strong in 2020. And App Store is also extremely crowded when looking at the size of the market. We know there is less than 1% of chance of success when releasing on the mainstream platforms. In all of these stores, without a big publisher with even larger marketing budget, the chance of even being seen are slim to none. We're not making this up. Every developer has felt this, us included. So, Nutaku, how well do we perform? Let's take a look at our 5 years story. So in 2015, we launched with 3 games of a proof of market test, 1 million players by the end of the year. 2016, we opened up Nutaku's paid store service. All stores front are up and running, 5 million players, 16 free-to-play games by the end of the year. 2017, we saw the launch of our investment arm, and Nutaku.net breaks past 150 games, paid plus free-to-play. 2018, we invested over $10 million. We target the LGBTQ audience and work closely with some of the biggest influencers in the world, 25 million players. And in 2019, we closed the year with 50 million players with live Android and desktop client storefronts showcasing over 60 free-to-play games. In this year, 2020, Nutaku will kick off with our full site redesigned. What about traffic? We are the 355th most visited website on the internet, 258th in the US, and 30th in the adult entertainment, and 6th in the most visited gaming destination. Let's talk about traffic in terms of countries. So our users are global, but our main focus is what we describe as our premium countries: the US, Western Europe, Central Europe, the countries where we see the most active and highest spending players. Let's talk about the competition. What does the competition look like? The reality is that there is a very little. The competitors shown here do not offer free-to-play titles, which is where we make the dragon's share for overall revenues. We created our market and we're dominating it. Here you can see the growth of Nutaku's games catalog. As mentioned multiple times, the biggest opportunity lies with the free-to-play PC and mobile games, which represent a small percentage of our overall listings, but the largest percentage of our revenues. Now, let's talk about Nutaku Publishing, who we are and what we do. So we noticed in the very early days of Nutaku that there were a very few teams making idle games. So what's the best way to fix this? Money. At the end of 2016 and the start of 2017, we opened up our investment fund to accelerate the growth of Nutaku, and it's really paying off. By the end of 2017, we've invested nearly $3 million into 56 projects. In 2019 alone, we invested $8 million directly into 67 projects. This is not slowing down yet, and we're anticipating these years will be even bigger. And we always say it starts with a great game, always. How do we do it? It always starts with a great game. This is not about gamifying porn. This is about adding the current adult content into grand fun games. So let's check out this video.
Come on in. Hi, my name is Asta.
All right, let's continue with the presentation. So now let's talk about the key components to a successful adult game. So our key components to success, first, adult integration. How and where do we start to include adult content within the game? That's a very important question. Second, proper monetization. Adult content allows for creative monetization strategies. It provides a whole new layer and content within the game that we can start monetizing. Number three, active live ops. Adult gamers are hungry for events and new content. Keep them active, keep them engaged. Four, fun and compelling metagame. Very important point. How do we make it sticky and keep those users coming back for more? Dating sims, relationship building systems, this is where the magic really starts happening. So now, what type of games are we looking to fund and offer or publishing services? Well, always casual free-to-play games with collection gacha mechanics. Right now, casual, fun, easy to pick up games are dominating. Mid, hardcore PvP-based titles are not for the current market, I would say. Alternatively, if you do not require funding for your game, Nutaku.net is a distribution channel and we accept self-publishing from teams who want to go it alone for either free-to-play or paid games. We do not invest into paid games, but we do offer publishing opportunities that enables teams to leverage our Nutaku publishing brand. This is reserved for the highest quality paid games. Now, let's take a look at Nutaku publishing as a strategic partnership, because that's what we get when you work with Nutaku. So first of all, let me say that we assign a project manager and a game designer to each and every project we fund. We provide backend management tools, hosting discounts, localization, marketing, all the way through an art and content direction. We know what works best and how to make it sexy. Live ops, crucial to any successful free-to-play game, including data-driven price models and event content planning support, community management, newsletters, and email retention campaigns. Influencer marketing. Want to work with some of the biggest influencers? This is the power of Nutaku Publishing. All of these come at no additional overhead cost, and we require it for the development teams to focus on making the best game possible. That's all. Another interesting thing here, Nutaku is part of a very large idol family. We have lots of opportunities to work directly with our partner products to create games with the biggest brands in adult entertainment. I'm not sure you have ever seen or heard about these brands in the past, but trust me, they're really powerful ones. And let's take a quick look at the interesting success story. So here we have Mad CEO, launched in 2016 on Milliclip and Congregate. The opportunity, a perfect case of taking a mainstream game, a really great addictive game, and turning it into a product fit for the adult market. It launched to its highest DAU of 3,000 users. The retention numbers were about 50% day one, 20% day seven, and were exactly the type of solid foundations we're looking for. The challenge? Design and deploy a real adultification strategy. Now, after 6 months of development, we launched FabCO to cover the AU of 92,000 and a daily gross revenue increase of 15 times. You see, I told you, it always starts with a great game. FabCO made more revenue on its Nutaku launch than the Mad CEO did in the entire lifetime as the mainstream game. Over 1 year later, I can tell you, he's a very happy developer. Now, we spoke about FabCO with the close to 1,000 DAU. Booty Calls have over 5 million registered players in its launch. And in the middle, we have Project Cutie, our most successful launch in Nutaku's history, late July 2019. Launching with amazing retention and conversion rates and its gross in monthly average revenues of over $1 million. So, the opportunity is right now, and we want to hear from you. So, what do we suggest? First, play a selection of our top of free-to-play games. Second, review of your portfolio of free-to-play games. And finally, get in touch with our biz devs. We'll be attending the show, so we'll be available to attend any other questions or to check out your games. I'll finish today on a video provided by our marketing team with our most up-to-date numbers. Over 450 games, over 50 million players, more than 2 billion all-time visits, games available in 7 languages. In addition to our marketing efforts such as Hentai Art or every Nutaku Booth console, a lot of things that we do from a PR department, from our marketing area. So let me share with you this video as well.
And this is your power button. Alcohol fast.
Booty calls! Oh!
I'm really tipsy.
That's when you know you hit the jackpot, you hit the mermaid. Ya vemos aquí. ¿Qué recuerdos, por favor? Alexis, la foreigner. So check this out.
So that's all. Now, thank you very much. And let's continue. I don't know if you had some questions.
Hi there. Yes. So yeah, thank you for that talk. A fascinating insight into a world, I suppose, that some people might not know anything about.
Yes, here we are.
Yeah. So yeah, we do have some questions though. One question from Walid is, what type of game can be adultified? Is there anything that you guys kind of look for when you're taking an existing game and altering it?
Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, I would say that every single game could be adultified, right? But the thing is, it doesn't mean that it's going to work. So basically, right now we need to look at what our audience wants to play. So basically, right now, this type of games, like as I said, any casual game like RPGs, clickers. So these type of games that are very casual and easy to play, but including all these the meta game where you can interact with the characters in order to start this relationship with the characters, so you can start releasing the content. So that basically the type of games we're looking for. And of course, as I said, free to play games always for funding, free to play.
Yeah. Okay. That's really interesting. I mean, I'll just tick that we've answered that one. I mean, Anthony said that sometimes the quality of the slides wasn't dropped off a little for him. So that basically some people were wondering if it's possible, if you're going to be in the Discord or anything, if there's any way to link to the talk for people who might be interested in learning more or anything like that. So that might be something, that people might be interested in chatting about in the Discord. And then, yeah, I mean, one question I had, I suppose, is obviously adult content can be, controversial to some. Do you, and obviously the adults only rating, and in different countries, the restrictive ratings obviously must pose some challenges for you. Do you find that you have to do different types of marketing and sales to the rest of the industry? Is it a very different model to what everyone else is doing, or do you actually find it's much the same?
Well, I would say in terms of content, we have a kind of or compliance area in order to check all the content. So we manage our game. So I would say that we take care of that. So because, as you say, adult content is a very wide word, or
yeah,
you can find everything there. But no, we manage very carefully in terms of content. So that's I would say that in terms of the content. And in terms of marketing, yes, we have a kind of different thing compared with the rest of the platforms, because we have a huge sales team, working behind the platform, behind the game. So we're taking care of the user acquisition. We're taking care of all these things, the promotion, the marketing, etc. So if you put your game in any other platform, it's like, it's like a window shopping, right? But if you put our game here in this platform, it's different. It's like we will acquire all the users, we will look for them, we will hunt them. So basically, that is why we reach these numbers in our platform, which are very different than the rest of the platforms that you could see on the presentation. So
yeah. Well, we've got a few more minutes, and actually the questions have started to roll in now. So we'll see if we can hit off as many of them as possible.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, first up, Molly's asked, I noticed in the map that Nutaku is most popular in the USA and Europe, but given the content, is Nutaku targeting / active in Japan?
Actually, I would say that no, because there are other platforms managing the games in Japanese.
Yeah.
So I would say we are the kings in the rest of the world in this side, and we leave them there to manage the Japanese market. Of course, it's different because of the language. Basically, the language barrier is the main difference. So that's why we started working in this side, and we're the largest one here. So why going there?
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Another question we've got is, do you feel there is a stigma associated with adult games?
Always, of course. But again, as long as we manage in a responsibly way, and always allowing adult people for adult content only, will be fine. Of course,
yeah.
Again, we take care of the content that we launch in our games. Absolutely, it's a priority for us.
Yeah, and the next question we've got, this is two more, and then we'll let you get on your way. But we've got, where can these games be promoted, and what methods are used to monetize them outside of Google Play and the iOS ecosystems?
First of all, I would say that, of course, our games are not neither on Google nor or the App Store because we have our platform, first of all. So we promote our games not only on our platform, but also through the social networks. We have a very active social network management. So we promote our games in our community. Remember, we're talking about right now like 56 million people, registered people on our platform. So we're always in touch with them, promoting our games, sending emails, newsletters, etc. So we have a community very active, and we keep them engaged to keep them playing our games, basically.
Yeah. Okay. And last of all, how can we pitch a game? Do you accept mobile games or only PC games to adultify?
Very good question. Of course, first of all, reach us out. As a BizDevs, we are always open to evaluate your proposals. Second, of course, we're looking for mainly mobile free-to-play games and PC browser as well, of course. So as I said, we manage mobile, Android APK, mobile browser, PC browser, and PC client. So these are the platforms we're looking for. Again, for free-to-play games. So, of course, if you have something that could match with our audience, with what we're looking for, come on over and let's take a look at that.
Yeah, and I think that's a really great place to stop. If obviously, hopefully, you will be in the Discord later on throughout the afternoon or anything. And I'm sure if there's people who are interested in adultifying their games, if that's a word, then I'm sure you'll be there to
absolutely
have a chat.
And basically, what we're trying what we're offering is another option. Another option for your games. You have good games, but sometimes, the lack of visibility in these oversaturated mainstream platforms is very tough. The competition is tough there. So come to this blue ocean where you can find better possibilities, and we will fund your game. So why not?
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us today. And, thank you for being a part of our sponsors for the show as well. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Real pleasure.
No, well, thank you. Really, an interesting talk that delves into the sort of things we sometimes don't hear about. So, thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too.
Let's enjoy the show, okay?
Yes.
Now it's just starting. This is just starting.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.